Good morning. It is March 20, 2020. Unique times we're living in now, isn't it, with this coronavirus and all that going on. That's not what I want to talk about this morning. I'm getting ready to go to work, and I wanted to get this out before I did. This is about a report that I received through email a few days ago, and this is an incident that is ongoing. This is, like I say, it's ongoing as we speak. This person reached out to me at first. He said he wasn't ready for it to go up on YouTube, and then he said, yeah, I want it shared. I think there's some important things in it. And before I get started, I want to give a shout out to Scott Carpenter. He was kind enough to speak with me concerning this and offer his insight, and I really appreciate that. This individual that emailed me, he had reached out to Scott first, and Scott lives a long ways from here, and I live about an hour's drive from where this is going on. And this incident that I'm going to share with you, this is ongoing, and the individual has given me permission to share it, and hopefully if we can coordinate a time in the next few days, I want to get down to his place and have a look around myself. But anyway, let's get on to it. And let me say this, I've been getting a steady stream of information from this individual by email and by text, by phone. I've talked to him of everything from pictures to video to audio. It's like I say, this is a pretty unique situation going on from what I can tell right now. And so I'm going to highlight some of this and share it with you. And I'll just start here. This person says, I moved to I'm not going to say the exact area, of southeast Oklahoma about 4 years ago. If you would have asked me if I believed in Bigfoot while I was living in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, I would have said nah. A month or two after moving to a 40-acre ranch outside of this town, my wife had fallen asleep on the couch and woke up to what she said was someone jiggling the front doorknob. She jumped up to lock it and said when she turned around, there was a shadow outside the side window of a figure with a big head, long hair, and it was gone in a flash. She said she could have imagined it, so I blew it off. And then he says my son, who was 3 at the time, and he said I got him a battery-powered go-kart, and his mother heard him say, "They can't catch me now." When she asked him what he meant, he said, the man who lives in the woods. He stands at my window at night and watches me sleep. He can't catch me now. So that really got the guy's attention. He says, now I have a 2-year-old daughter who used to throw fits to be outside, till one day she ran inside, slammed the front door, and was crying. I've noticed before she goes outside, she will poke her head out the door and look around for a minute before going outside, and rarely will play on the playhouse that is close to the tree line. He goes on to say about a year ago that he says I was lying in bed, not fully asleep, and heard a melodic whistle kind of chatter, and I sat up because it sounded like it was coming from near the woods outside my bedroom. My dogs started immediately howling, not barking, and wouldn't come off the porch, and these dogs are usually aggressive. And he goes on to say one of my dogs has bit the mail lady, the UPS man, the neighbor. So anyway, if I go down to this person's house, I'm going to call ahead and make sure that the dogs don't get me. But anyway, he says this dog did not leave the porch that night, and he said he heard the same kind of whistle chatter, but slightly different about 3 minutes after the first whistle. And that really struck me. He said, I Googled what I could best describe as the sound I heard, and Bigfoot talk kept coming up. Well, the other day, and like I say, this is ongoing, and he's providing some dates here. The other day, and he says November 11, 2019, my son came running into our bedroom and said, Daddy, there is a bear outside. It has a white face, and it was looking at me. I had recently watched Missing 411, that's the David Paulides documentary, and remember a kid describing what I believe was a Bigfoot as a bear that could talk or something like that. He says, I grabbed my rifle and ran outside to where he said he saw it and didn't see anything. And he said, then I wondered if my kids, and he says, now I'm wondering if my kids actually seen something. And he goes on, he says, a few days later, December 3, 2019, he says, I recorded a shadow that appeared to be on 2 feet approaching my house. So far, all of my recordings, and let me just say this individual has a lot of recordings. I've got some that he sent me that I haven't even had time to go through. He's got cameras around his house, and I'll say he's captured some very interesting vocalizations and such as that. But this one he's going to talk about, I've seen this as well. He said, I recorded a shadow that appeared to be on 2 feet approaching my house. So far, all of my recordings could have been blown off. He said, I've heard some whoops on some of my recordings and what sounded like wood knocks and strange behavior from my dogs. He says, this was the first time for me that I had the proof that something was coming up to my house. So anyway, that being said, I have seen that particular video he sent to me, and it does show the dogs out there facing the woods, and they're acting very strange. You know, an aggressive dog, if it's a person out there, they're usually acting aggressive. The best I can describe the behavior of the dogs in the video was they were concerned, and then the dog disappears from the video and you see a shadow of something, you know, bipedal, going through the corner of the video, and that's what I've seen. But he's taken this very seriously. He's had a police report filed concerning this, and like I say, this is ongoing. And I want to read to you what he said to me about why he wanted me to share this. And he said here, he got on my YouTube channel and he says, reading your comments on your newest YouTube video, I believe people need to be aware of these creatures. They might discount it today, but if one of their children tells them of an experience, my hope is my story being shared will help in parents remembering a story like mine. I discounted a couple of my kids and what they had told me and their mother several times over the span of 4 years. He said, feel free to share all or part of my original email. If you want pictures or videos, like I say, you can link them to my YouTube, and I'll leave that to him. I'm sure he'll comment on this, and if he would like to put a link to some of these in the comments, I'll certainly allow that and encourage it. And then he goes on to say here, he said, take your time, put it out there at your discretion. Talking about this, he said, I really just want to bring awareness to the people in our area of them watching children. The persistence is what bothers me. They would approach a different way if I put up more cameras, and this allowed me to be prepared. And now I've gotten most of my, he says, good stuff. It seems like they broke their own protocol and got sloppy considering what I've read about their typical behavior. So, like I said, I've seen some of his pictures and stuff, and one of them shows a very large, tall figure standing in the trees behind where his kids play and stuff. So naturally, this gentleman is concerned about that, and I appreciate that he's reached out to me to help investigate this. And like I say, hopefully in the next few days we can coordinate a time and I can go out and have a look around. And again, a shout out to Scott Carpenter for being kind enough to talk with me about it and share his insight and his opinions on it. And hopefully we can talk again sometime. But anyway, I just wanted to get that out this morning before I went out to work, because like I say, ongoing, and I'm going to be looking into this more in depth as the days go, and I will hopefully have some more videos to make concerning this about potential findings and such. So as always, if you have something you would like to share, drop me an email at bigfootandmore@yahoo.com. If you want me to share it, I will. If you don't, I won't. And if you like what I'm doing here, again, I invite you to share and subscribe to my channel. And as always, thank you for watching.